Right now, on the International Space Station, astronauts are quietly falling apart. Every single month they spend up there, their bones lose about 1 to 1.5% of their density. Their muscles waste faster, up to 20% of their mass in a matter of weeks. Spend 6 months in orbit, and your skeleton ages like a full year of osteoporosis. Now stretch that across a 2.5-year trip to Mars and the math gets frightening. There is only one known fix, and it isn't a drug or a workout. It's a spin. For over a century, engineers have known that if you spin a space station, you can make gravity out of nothing, motive nothing but motion. Here's the trick. There is no such thing as artificial gravity. Not really. What a spinning station actually does is fake it, using inertia. Picture a giant wheel turning in space, with you standing on the inside of its outer rim. As the wheel spins, the floor is constantly pushing you inward. Your body feels that push as weight. The outer wall becomes the floor. And the beautiful part? It never switches off. So if it's that simple, why isn't there a spinning station up there already? Because your inner ear hates it. When you turn your head inside a rotating room, the spin tugs on the fluid in your ears in a way your brain didn't ask for. It's called the Coriolis effect, and at high spin rates it makes people violently dizzy. For decades, engineers believed the human limit was painfully low, maybe 3 or 4 rotations per minute before crews got sick. And that one number changed everything. Because to make full Earth gravity while spinning that slowly, the wheel had to be enormous. In 1952, Wernher von Braun, the man who'd later build the rocket to the moon, published a vision. A rotating wheel, 250 feet across, turning about 3 times a minute, home to a crew of 80. It was gorgeous. It was never built. Then, in 1975, NASA went bigger. A summer study at Stanford University designed a colony called the Stanford Torus, a ring a full 1.5 miles wide, spinning just once per minute to make perfect Earth gravity, holding 10,000 people living inside a landscape that curved up over their heads. And the physicist Gerard O'Neill went bigger still. Cylinders miles across and tens of miles long, entire worlds turned inside out. Every one of these designs worked on paper, and every one of them was too big to launch, at a cost no one on Earth would pay. That's the real reason the spinning station stayed science fiction. Not because the physics failed, because the physics demanded a miracle of scale. But that old limit, 3 or 4 rotations a minute, turned out to be wrong. When researchers actually put people in spinning rooms and let them adapt gradually, subjects tolerated 10 rotations per minute. Some handled far more. The human body, it turns out, learns the spin, and that single discovery flips the whole problem on its head. If people can handle a faster spin, the station doesn't have to be a mile wide. It can be small enough to actually build, which brings us to a company called VAST. In 2026, they're launching Haven 1, set to be the first commercial space station in history carried up on a SpaceX Dragon. That first one won't spin, but what VAST has announced next is an artificial gravity station that doesn't look like a mile-wide wheel at all. It looks more like a dumbbell, 2 modules on a long arm, tumbling end over end, about 3.5 times a minute. No megastructure, just a compact station, generating the one thing humans have never had off Earth, their own weight, held steady, day after day. It took us 100 years to realize the answer was never bigger wheel. It was a smaller spin. But gravity, the laugh Tico's in the pot. It might soft the difficult windows what it weird, if had to does naff to get there. But relibes to the mountains who put it from. We have the same going kindly and blessed about the traveller, and invited with acting right now. But if Robert can't fight in a few, you'll come to bad and beast that pass thing door. It could cut that journey from months down to weeks. You there?